Hi everybody, today we're just going to do a brief overview of units, types of units you are likely to see if you are a nursing student or learning pharmacology, or even if you're a physics student or engineering. So let's go to yccc.edu. We're going to go to the Student Success Commons. And we have got quite a few math pages. First, I'm going to take us to the units and conversions pages, just so everyone knows what units are, what we mean when we say units. The units of a quantity describe what the quantity measures or counts. Units tell you what it is you're measuring. Are you measuring time? Are you measuring weight? If you're measuring time, are you measuring it in minutes or hours or days or weeks? So that's what units are. And when you're working with units, it's usually helpful for them to be the same unit. If you're talking about time, it's usually helpful to have everything in terms of hours or everything in terms of minutes instead of having part of the question in weeks and part of the question in minutes. It's usually helpful to have them the same. Same if you're talking about weight. Usually it's helpful to have everything in kilograms or everything in pounds as opposed to mixing and matching, because in order to add or subtract two quantities, they have to have the same unit. They have to match. And so on this page here, units and conversions, we do have an example of how you can cancel units. We also have some common conversions. So if you need to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit, we've got the formula here, or Fahrenheit to Celsius, whatever. The customary units we use to measure things in the US, we usually use inches, feet, yards, miles. For mass, we use pounds, ounces, volume, cups, tablespoons, whatever. And the metric unit, though, is what I want to focus more on, though, because we see this a lot in the sciences. And the metric unit, and the metric system uses three base units, at least ones we're going to use. For length, it's meter, mass is gram, and volume is liter. The metric system also employs prefixes that tell you how much bigger or smaller the unit is from the base unit. So if you see kilometer, kilometer, that means it's 1,000 times as big as a regular meter. Or if you see, let's see what else is common. If you see a millimeter, that means it's 0.001 times a regular meter, or it's 1,000th of a meter. So I want to look more at these metric to metric conversions. Here's a couple of examples here, but let's go to our dosage calculations page, because we have a little more in-depth section about converting different metric units. And so here they are. Here's our converting metric to metric. And remember, if you need to remember what the base units are, meter, gram, liter, all of these prefixes here can all be stuck in front of these bases. So you can have a kilometer, you can have a kilogram, you can have a kiloliter, or you can have a micrometer or a microgram or a microliter. All of these prefixes can be slapped on top of one of these. And if it has no prefix, it's just the base unit. So you'll see a couple of a couple of these. How many times am I gonna say? A couple examples here, or conversion factors here. So if you need to go from, let's say, kilograms to just grams, you would use this one here, kilo to base, because kilograms and grams. Grams is a base unit. So to go from kilograms to grams, you would multiply the kilograms by 1,000. It's pretty easy. Let's say you had liters and you needed to go to milliliters. Well, liters is a base unit, so you're going to go from the base unit to milliliters. To do that, you multiply by 1,000. I swear that was a coincidence. Let's say you had micrograms, and you needed to go to kilograms. So I have micro to kilo, microgram to kilogram. You'd have to divide by 1,000,000,000 to get that to work. So I would encourage you to check out this page, keep this bookmarked. and get some practice doing, converting from metric to metric. You can always, to like double check your work to make sure you're understanding how this table works, you can always do, a Google search. The Google has a built-in conversion. So like, I just do kg to mcg. Yeah. So if you have 10 kilograms, the downside of using Google is it will sometimes give you scientific notation like it did for me here. 10 kilograms is one, what is that, 1 billion, 10 million? It's a lot of micrograms. Kilograms. All right. Oh, no, you can't have kilograms. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Now, let's just compare this to that table on the previous page. Let's say you wanted to go from kilogram to gram. What would you do according to the table? Now, gram is a base unit, so you're going to go from kilo to base. And it says you would multiply by 1,000 according to this table. Kilo to base, multiply by 1,000. And that's what they did here. Multiply the value by 1,000. This table will work. I do encourage you to do some practice with it yourself. Pick random numbers if you want to. Take 49.6 grams and convert it into micrograms. Try it using the table, and then you can always double check your work here. There are other websites you can double check your work too. This is just the easiest because you just literally type it in. But definitely give it a shot. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Student Success Commons at yccc.edu, and a math tutor can connect with you. But it's definitely going to be helpful to make sure you know what we mean when we say the base units, what the prefixes are, and how to convert from one unit to the other.